All right, welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
My Gary's chuckles when I said, "Okay, let's go."
That's right.
No overthinking, just do.
No sense in prepping. Just get on with it.
Just do. What's this reading going to be on, Gary?
We are going to look at Trump's confusion with
Hmm.
what Mattel is, and some of the pushback that Trump is getting on these tariffs.
Now, apparently, Trump misspoke and referred to Mattel as a country rather than a company. I guess we're talking about tariffs and anti-tariffs or something like
Yes.
that. 25th Amendment, everyone. 25th Amendment.
Yeah,
He's delusional. Take away his keys.
He made some comment, and I'm paraphrasing because I read this like a day or two ago, where he was saying, clarifying that, well, if I wouldn't want to be the leader of Mattel, this like I wouldn't want to be the leader of Mattel because when these counter tariffs hit, everyone's going to see what a bad decision that was. I mean, I swear to God, I think he thought Mattel was a person. I think at first he thought it was a country, and then he thought it was the last name of a CEO or the head of this this organization. He doesn't recognize that Mattel is a toy company in the United States. And the reason why he was pissed off is because what Mattel is doing is they had made some comment that they were going to diversify their manufacturing so that it wasn't so heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing for their products.
Yeah, they'll make it in Vietnam or someplace like that doesn't have as strong a tariffs.
Yeah,
i.e., not bringing jobs back to the United States.
Right, and that's what got Trump all pissed off. It's like, well, we'll show Mattel, we'll slap him with more tariffs. It's like a U.S. company.
Yeah, this is what the market does. Why did you think the jobs went overseas in the first place?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
So his answer to everything is just make it bigger tariffs so that Mattel is forced to make it so expensive that Mattel has to do it in the United States. And then that leads to a rant that you and I go on saying it's not like these things happen overnight.
Yes.
You walk into a building and flip a switch, and all of a sudden it's this running machine of cranking out thousands of Barbie dolls a minute or something like that.
Well, apparently only 2 a minute is what you need now.
Oh, okay. But that's right, because greedy American girls want their dolls.
Yes. Only 1 or 2 is enough. But
yeah, the fact Trump was probably given Russian dolls as a kid. There was only one. He only got one Russian doll. Told not to be greedy.
Yeah, but the thing is that as soon as you lift the tariffs, the motivation to bring the manufacturing back to the United States is completely, not only does it go away, you have active push to get it back out of the United States. So it's almost like you have to make the tariffs permanent. And all you're doing is you're lowering the lifestyle or the standard of living of Americans, just so you can build Barbie dolls and toothbrushes in the United States. It makes absolutely no sense in the long term. Not even in the short term. So, and then the other thing that I was telling Dave about is Trump wants U.S. corporations to eat the cost of the tariffs. He on this campaign trail, he's telling everyone, China's going to pay for the tariffs. It's Chinese.
Tax on foreign countries.
Yeah, the foreign countries are going to pay for it. But, anyone who spent more than like 30 seconds trying to gain knowledge of tariffs would understand that, no, it is not the manufacturer, the Chinese manufacturer or the foreign manufacturer. It's the import-export company. The company that imports the stuff is the one that actually pays the tariff. And what they are going to do is they're going to pass that cost along. And that's what Walmart is trying to point out is like, margins in retail aren't really big. They're not big, fat, huge margins. They're pretty razor thin. Walmart has huge buying power, which is why they're able to charge lower prices because they can really lean on the suppliers because they buy in such large quantities. Well, the fact of the matter is, if they really just can't eat the tariffs. It's a losing strategy to sell things that for less than what you paid for them. Well, and so that's what Walmart is trying to walk that fine line, telling Trump that, no, we've got a duty to the shareholders to maximize profit, and we're going to pass those costs right on along. To the best of their ability, they're going to pass it along. So why don't we just start on, we can look at the energy around, is Trump not getting it, or is he just trying to...
Oh, Trump gets it. Notice he's tried to silence Amazon because Amazon was going to put tariffs on the receipt, and he's silencing Walmart because Walmart's going to charge people tariffs. He understands that he has lied about tariffs, and he is terrified that his supporters will find out that he was not being truthful to them.
So let's see
the hell out of him.
Let's see what the outcome of this whole little tariff tiff is going to be between like Walmart and Trump and Amazon.
Hillbilly Harrods.
Yes. Would you like to read, or would you like me to read?
You can go ahead and read.
Okay. For entertainment purposes,
demand it.
Okay, so I've had plenty of time to stack the deck.
Exactly. Good job.
So
maybe one day you'll get a deck that's half the thickness of that, so you can stack it. It's more difficult to stack.
Yeah. So how is this going to work out between Trump and Walmart and Amazon and these pesky little tariffs? Oh, the foundation is the fool. We're on a new journey. Turn this down a little bit here. We are going down a different path, and it's who's going to be the bigger fool. I don't think Walmart and their executive team is going to say, let's absorb these tariffs. That would be foolish as hell. I think Trump is just trying to, fool his base. The cross is the Eight of Swords. It's like, you've just raised the cost of our product, and now you don't want us to pass the cost along to the consumer. So basically, you want to put Walmart out of business. That's his great plan for bringing jobs back to the United States, is get rid of one of the largest, if not the largest, retailer in the United States.
It's the largest employer in the United States too, apparently.
Okay, largest employer. There you go. Underneath it, you got the Ace of Cups. It's a very emotionally charged issue. Trump's emotionally charged because he made all these campaign promises that were just a bunch of bullshit. The Walmart leadership team are emotionally charged because this doesn't make any freaking business sense at all. Our charter is to maximize profit for shareholder wealth. And then you've also got the consumer, the Ace of Cups, because they're seeing their prices go up. And I suspect there's a lot of MAGA folks that shop at Walmart.
Yeah.
And
Walmart apparently sells, like 95% of the population shops at Walmart at least once a year. And in rural areas, that's the place to go.
Yep. And
one-stop shopping. Best
Trump's
prices.
tariffs are going to land squarely there. And that's why Trump is really trying to get Walmart to eat the cost, because he doesn't want his MAGA faithful to understand exactly what they voted for.
Yep. Exactly. He's terrified.
In the past, you got the Knight of Swords, just throwing tariffs on everything with reckless abandon. Current energy is the Two of Pentacles. This is my MAGA card. This is Trump trying to balance the bullshit he said on the election trail with the realities of what he's actually doing. He's trying to find that little balance there. Come on, Walmart, just take some of the cost. You don't have to pass all of it along. Overarching energy is the Five of Swords. It's win at all costs. Win, win, win. Trump doesn't compromise. It's either you win or you lose. And that's his motivation is, I got to win this. The lesson to be learned is the Six of Swords. The tariffs are causing a lot of turbulent seas And we're trying, Walmart's trying its best to navigate through this because they really do have a goal to not only pay the least amount of money for things, but to pass that on to its shoppers. But when you're throwing a bunch of tariffs at it, it's going to be really hard to not jack the prices up the full 100%. Outcome is, oh boy, the Empress. We got a lot of people to take care of, and there's a lot of wealth in this country, and you're not going to take the wealth away from Walmart. That's how I see it.
My reading, I did actually reading on this one last night. It went up this morning, and that's what I was seeing too. That Walmart's not going to back down. Not like Amazon backed down. Jeff Bezos caved in 4 hours to Trump. Walmart doesn't appear like they're going to back down.
I would be very surprised. Now, if Walmart put the tariff cost on the receipt, Trump would really have a litter of kittens. That was his big issue with Amazon. Is Amazon was talking about, they weren't even executing the plan. They were just talking about, well, one thing we could do is put the cost of the tariff on the receipt. But Trump doesn't want people understanding what it is they signed up for.
I want to find out why, because he can't run again. So, I mean, it's not like he cares about legislation. It's not like he cares about running for office again, because he cannot. Now, whether or not, we could argue whether or not we're going to have elections again, but he basically cannot run again. So why is Trump so concerned about Walmart exposing tariffs for what they are? Why does this rock Trump's boat? Like you had your Six of Swords. Yeah. Walmart's rocking the boat, and it's really bothering Trump. And I don't know why. Because logically speaking, it doesn't make any sense. So there's obviously something wrong with one of my assumptions, or I'm still not good at thinking like a deranged narcissist would think. So why is Trump so pissed off at Bezos? Why is he so pissed off at Hillbilly Harrods for wanting to attribute tariffs and prices? Page of Pentacles, because of the grift. It's always about money, and he gets money from these people, and that's going to be brought to an end. It might also be his concepts of what it's almost like. There could be two things here. One is grift. This is my traditional card for grifting by Trump. But the other thing is Trump really, I think he really thinks tariffs are a tax on other countries. And when Walmart says they're going to raise the prices and pass it on to their customers, this kind of blows up Trump's little imaginary world. Gary, did you watch the interview that was being done with Trump about the MS-13 tattoos on the guy's knuckles?
No, I don't think I saw the actual interview.
Okay, so the actual interview, so you got the skull and the marijuana leaf and stuff like that. Happy face, yeah. Then they've got the MS-13 photoshopped on the knuckles. In the actual interview, Trump wouldn't let it go. He's like, he had MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. The guy says, no, that was Photoshop. No, it wasn't Photoshop. How come you can't admit you're wrong? He's like, let's just agree to disagree and move on. I want to talk about
this. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that interview.
And Trump is like, no, we're gonna discuss this. You're being very unfair. It's like if anybody challenges his reality, he just freaks out, which tells me that his mental health is degrading even further, to the point that you cannot disagree with him on certain core things that he believes. And I think he really believes that tariffs are a tax on other countries. And when somebody comes along and says, no, they're not, he melts down. He absolutely has a fit. Underneath it all is the Three of Cups. So this is not only him grifting money, but this is also his ideas of what money's like. And those challenges are killing him. He cannot take people challenging him, and I've got the Three of Cups underneath here. He's always afraid of people laughing at him. So if he's proved wrong, people are going to laugh at him, and that's just the end of it. He can't. He's in a psychosis almost state. In the past, Queen of Cups. Yeah, trying to keep a lid on his emotion. As he moves more and more into the dementia and stuff like that, he can't control his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The whole theme of this was that he's having a meltdown like a 3-year-old. He can't keep control of his emotions like he could before. Before he could keep it, and then he started raging in his bedroom and throwing stuff at television sets and stuff like that. Ketchup bottles against the
wall.
Yeah,
say not a safe ketchup bottle in the house.
Yeah, and now he can't. Everything has to be challenged. And if somebody challenges him, he's got to fight it right then and there because he can't be wrong, or else people are going to laugh at him. Current situation, it's the world card. Trump's in his end game. Whatever's happening with him, with dementia and mental health, he's in his final act, as it were. It's progressive. He's getting Delulu, and the Lover's card. It's, I won't say pearly gates, but it's kind of like there's that family intervention because of his mental health going down, and he's like a toddler, and they have to take care of him. They have to make a choice on what they're going to do with him because he's crazy. They've got a plan. He's upset by that plan, and he's trying desperately to hold on to what mental health and freedom he has, but it requires medical intervention. I do love Libby's just keep throwing cards and keep the story going fast. In the end, the next card, Justice. Yeah. This is what it's going to be with him. He can't.
I'm just reading a quote out of MSNBC when he's talking about tariffs. When people say, that basically the tariffs are, the consumer pays the tariffs. It says here, Trump brushed that claim off, saying tariffs were the most misunderstood thing in any form of business. Oftentimes the country picks them up. Oftentimes the company picks it up. The people don't pick it up, Trump asserted in the Oval Office on Thursday. It's like, okay. So when
not the initial payment, sure.
Yeah.
Play the tape all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's either he's, like you said, he's trying to protect MAGA, or he's just simply not playing the tape to the end.
He's protecting himself. He's just protecting himself. He doesn't understand it. And anybody who disagrees with him, it's a fight.
Yeah.
Everything's a fight now. He can't let anything go.
He's got to be right 100% of the time.
Exactly. Before he could be, you could challenge him and he would just brush you off and kick your dog or something like that when you weren't looking. But now every hill is the hill to die on.
Yeah, and he doesn't care who gets hurt. That's like Abrego Garcia. That was a mistake. And Trump can't be wrong. So they just double down and double down and double down on it. And this poor bastard sitting out there in El Salvador in some freaking prison who might not have done a damn thing wrong.
Didn't. He's just strong emotional responses. He's acting like a child. And it's inherited. These cards they flipped up as I was overhand shuffling. This is dementia. I would imagine anybody watching this who has had a parent, grandparent, or family member, something like that slipped into dementia, watching this happen and maybe listening to how we're describing it, probably would say, yeah, I've lived this nightmare. Thank you very much. Wouldn't wish it on anybody, and here we are.
Yep. That's all I got. Well, that's not all I got. I've also got this, just in case we needed it.
Oh, well, thank God. There's that white cat picture right behind you, needing a little bit of red on it.
Yeah.
That funky.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Anyways, thank you everyone for listening to our rant about tariffs and world leaders.
Yes, and we promise next time we'll actually throw tarot cards on it.
Exactly. If you don't like watching tarot and like hearing ranting, give us a like and a thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do more of it. It's a lot easier.
Exactly.
Just sit down and listen to
tarot cards
our
get away.
opinions.
You don't even have to fix the deck. You just throw your opinions out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, oh, the sun card. See, I was totally right.
Yes, and the Page of Wands, that's because we have new messaging for you.
Yes. Now you should sit back and enjoy your coffee and contemplate the wonderful existence.
And consider subscribing or making a kind, generous donation to the channel.
Or else the channel's going to fail.
Oh my gosh. And then we'll have to fight. We'll have to sort of struggle and to
actually work for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really our cup of tea.
No, that'll be the end of us.
Oh, we're beholden to you. So give us a thumbs up and a comment and a like. Save the channel.
Yes, exactly. Save us. We need all the money.
Or else our wives are going to tell us what to do. They're going to make honey-do lists, and we won't have an excuse to get out of. I can't do that. I'm doing a reading.
Yes. So if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'll wake you up every night, midnight at Pacific time with our newest, latest, and greatest reading. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many.
And the ones he deletes the ones that he doesn't like.
I did have to delete a couple. There was not today. I think yesterday I had a MAGA troll slip in who was basically saying Biden was the biggest traitor to the country ever.
It's not like we try to make an echo chamber in here, but their room temperature IQ and their ability to type with their knuckles and the all cap keys on is just brings nothing to the conversation.
Well, and the fact of the matter is, it was late in the day. I'd already responded to like 400 to 500 comments. I was tired, and I just, if it was early,
it doesn't add anything. Biden's a traitor. Goodbye.
Yeah.
How about Biden's a traitor because it's like come up with some reasoned logic. Maybe something related to the reading might be better.
Yeah. It's just exactly. It's just like, okay, so the guy that tried to overthrow the government by fomenting an insurrection, the guy that's been convicted of 34 felonies, who probably should have been convicted of more, except that he's got a corrupt justice system protecting him. Somehow, this is your guy.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about hills you want to die on. This is the guy the hill you want to die on. Okay.
Yep. Hey, so I got a couple of shout outs because apparently the knockoff Bargain Basement Twin Tarot channel decided not to do this. So since we have the premium number one
entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah, that word.
We've got some shout outs. So the first is for Heather Wind, who was hoping that she would get a shout out there.
There we go.
Yes, the Wheel of Fortune.
I'm waiting for it to not be overexposed, but apparently that's not going to happen today.
And then let's give a shout out to CC Sassy, because CC Sassy has made all sorts of contributions and comments to the channel.
Very sassy. Yeah. Don't stop.
Tired
of the last one they did.
Tired of making comments. Angel Jones. Sorry, it's very small font. Made a very thoughtful contribution to the channel. So thank you so much, Angel.
Thank you very much. Save up for a rainy day.
Yes, and that's all I got.
Unless you're from Australia, in which case it's wintertime. It might be cold down there.
Yes. And for the rest of us, a secret card.
It's not really secret.
After I show it to you, right? But a surprise ending card.
There we go.
Pentacles. So we got the King of Pentacles.
Let's all be oligarchs.
We're wealthy in the ways that's important: kindness and thoughtfulness. The measure of a man is not in their bank account; it's how much they love and how much they are loved, and how many cats they have. Yeah, and
the camera auto exposure isn't leaping forward to show off a black cat in a dark room for some reason.
I figured that was Nico has a cloak of invisibility. It's like
he's got something. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
Take care, folks. Bye.